Hey, I'm so glad that you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about what you're manifesting and what's coming into your life next. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And so just go ahead and meditate on the cards and see which one calls to you. And I will see you over there. Hey, pile number 1. Thanks for joining me. So I have pre-shuffled some oracle cards for you. I haven't seen what they look like. So we can just go ahead and turn them over together and see what Spirit wants to talk to you about, what you are manifesting, what you are bringing into your life. So, first card here. Well, that's a great card. You're manifesting happiness. You actually got 2 of those cards. Happiness. Oh, cool. Okay. And grace. Oh, cool. And you also got potential and possibility. Reach out to the potential that is calling for you. Then it says future, higher self, and quantum. And then you also have peace. Wow, pile number 1. And I remember when shuffling for your pile, the process was really interesting. And like, you got 2 cards from this deck, and then you got 3 cards from this deck. So let's see, I'll just like this, we'll see. Which, I don't know, it does kind of speak to me of abundance. And when we see cards like happiness and grace and potential and peace, it's like, wow, there's a lot that is coming in for you. A lot of blessings. And that really speaks to where your mind is at and where your focus is at. Being able to manifest and bring in this kind of abundance really speaks to your heart and mind and what's important to you. And that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. So then we have the entrance stone, new beginnings, step forward, expansion. Wow, yeah, that is so cool. You're expanding, pile number 1. And I think that's why you got so many cards, because it's just like indicative of just, this incredible expansion that you are undergoing. And then we have obstacle, find another road, flexibility, change. And then lay it on the altar, hand it over, soften, surrender, forgive. That's either that's guidance or that's something that you're doing, which is what's bringing all of this in. When you hit obstacles, you learn to adapt through it and surrender and sort of soften in the midst of it. And that's creating this incredible expansion for you. What incredible energy. I feel, pile 1, this level of power in you. because it looks like you are really facing, you know, the difficulties. You're not running away. You're not backing down. And because of that energy, that determination, your focus on pushing through and keeping that mindset of abundance is what's coming in for you. And potential and possibility, I think that's so cool because of these two cards. Like, it's really showing what kind of potential you have, what possibilities are available to you because of that potential and because of how you're stepping into that potential. And yeah, there's like this level of doing it so gracefully. Okay, let's do some tarot and see what more information we can get on what you're manifesting. Oh, shit, sorry. Yeah. Nice. Ooh, okay. Messy shuffle. I don't know. Does that imply like maybe how messy life can feel sometimes? And you're handling it all with grace. Okay. What is pile number one? Manifesting. So the first card that flew out is the Seven of Cups. It's a really pretty Seven of Cups. And then we also have Seven of Wands and the Ace of Wands, two sevens. And then at the back of the deck, we see the Two of Cups. Yeah, so it's clear with these two oracle cards, the sort of lay it on the altar and surrender, and this obstacle card that, you know, it almost feels like what you're trying to focus on has felt out of reach. You know, what's that phrase, pie in the sky kind of idea? And you've really had to stand your ground for it. What I also find interesting about this card, let me look at it. It's like, it gives off this wonderful energy of abundance. Like, there are these sort of magical cores to these flowers. And look how it's just rising up to her. It's like she doesn't have to choose one, she gets them all. And Ace of Wands, it's like passionate new beginning. And we saw that actual term, new beginning, here. Passionate new beginning. The fire is lit. Sort of coming together with yourself, coming to a union with yourself, with that grace card. It's like finally settling into the flow of your nature and your being, because you dealt with maybe whatever confusion or maybe feeling like it's out of your reach, and then the difficulties that come with that, the obstacles that definitely showed up in your path, that you had to soften and surrender to, and you had to learn how to adapt to and find your way around. And with this obstacle card, like, that's such a huge stone in the path. And I think, yeah, like a lot of times when we have dreams or wishes and desires that we don't even know why they're there because they seem so big, it can really feel like an obstacle that we couldn't overcome. And I think that that's what's so impressive about you, pile number one, is that you have... Sorry. Okay. Trying to keep it ordered here. Okay. You've really stood your ground, and you haven't let what seems insurmountable diminish that fire within you. And so, yeah, what you're manifesting is union, happiness, peace, this wonderful expansion of your potential and of possibilities, new beginnings, many, many doors starting to open up for you. And these impossible things that you've been standing your ground for and not giving up on actually materializing, right? Because this is what you're manifesting. And this is what the cards are saying is coming in finally. You're bringing yourself into a state of happiness, grace, and peace. And really, when we can learn those techniques of how to overcome obstacles, peace becomes a constant. Because it doesn't really matter what obstacle comes our way. We understand the tools of how to navigate it, of how to deal with it, which is, adaptation and softening and surrendering. And it looks like you're really getting that. Underneath this card at the back of the deck is the Eight of Pentacles. And I think that that's like really showing that, yeah, you have put in the work. And so now you are going to start reaping the rewards of all that work. And we see this, we see this Queen of Wands and the Fool underneath that as well as the Justice card and Strength. Oh my God. We'll bring those out as well. It's so cool. So, Queen of Wands, you know, that charismatic, beautiful, strong, capable queen, you know, of her realm that, you know, has that sovereignty. Over her world, you know. And I think the Justice being here is so validating, you know, coming into balance finally. We saw that kind of with the Two of Cups, like finally, you know, you've put in the work, you've stood your ground, you haven't given up. And finally, you know, the manifestation that you've been really standing your ground and working so hard for is here. I really felt called to say, like, it's here. It's finally coming in. And you definitely deserve it to really learn these tools concerning obstacles in life and not give up is such a powerful approach that most people skip because, you know, it takes tenacity and it takes, you know, courage. You know, we know in the Fool card, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite, like, they're like jumping off a cliff, right? Into the unknown. And it takes courage. And with this one, which is really cool, she's following this light. And that's what you're doing. You're following the light, which is your joy, your passion, right? We saw the Ace of Wands. It's your passion, and you're following it, and you're following it courageously. And so peace and happiness and abundance is absolutely coming in and overflowing in your life. And you deserve it, Pile One. This is amazing. Congratulations on your hard work and on what is manifesting for you. I'm really happy for you. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you next time. Hey, Pile 2. I'm so glad that you're here. So what are you manifesting? I have pre-shuffled some oracle cards for you. I haven't seen them, so we can just go ahead and take a look at them together. And we will see what they look like fresh together. And while I was shuffling for your pile, it was so succinct. Like, every deck gave me the cards clearly and quickly, and just, I hardly had to shuffle at all. It was just instant. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look and see what you are manifesting in your life. So, first card, Just Let Me Be, Liberation. Ooh, free spirit, wild, authentic. Yeah, cool. Energy. Wow, neat. We've got The Guardian Stone, awakening, progress, and initiation. Oh, this is cool energy. And then we've got abundance. Oh, cool. Oh, pile 2. What is going on with you? Wow. And it does. It continues to have that energy of like directness and succinctness. I don't know if that's a word. But just sort of like that feeling of like very direct and forward and clear. Such clear energy. That is really cool. And so that's what you're manifesting. So, you know, it could be that you're finally, you've been battling with experiences of, you know, something that's not clear or confusing, and you're shifting your energy or your responses, or maybe just some things in your life that are bringing in more freedom. Yeah, even more authenticity. You know, maybe you have felt like really caged. I mean, it says just let me be. So maybe there's like this sense of like finally, yeah, like you you've been maybe in a situation that has really maybe drained you or just made you feel, you know, like really tied down. And you're finally manifesting for yourself that freedom where you can be a bit more wild and more carefree and more yourself, right? The energy is gaining momentum here. Yeah, and this is progress and awakening, and it's like that's kind of what's happening for you, is like you're you're igniting your own personal energy to create this manifestation of freedom that is just like awakening you. You yourself is awakening to life, and you're finally getting the chance to live and be who you are without that sort of energy or whatever it was um, holding you down, or making you feel choked, making you feel like you can't express yourself um, the way that would be natural to you. But we see abundance. So, you know, whatever you're manifesting, it's gonna be good. let's uh let's get some tarot. Let me see, what kind of tarot do I, yeah, let's do this deck. Um, I guess you didn't see that. A card like jumped out. Let's see what that is. 3 of Cups. Oh, celebration. Ah, this feels so nice. Like so direct and so clear, and just, yeah, like all the ties and the chains that have been holding you down are just cut away, and you're just free, and you can celebrate and just feel like so carefree and happy. Like, man, it really feels nice. Good for you, pile 2. All right, so yeah, give us more information, Spirit, please, on what pile number 2 is manifesting into their life. We got Queen of Swords. Well, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you are the Queen of Swords, man. Clear and concise. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. That's really cool. Yeah, look at how these cards just like come out. I don't even have to do anything. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Nice. Yeah, right over the Abundance card. Yeah. Man, like I said in the beginning, like there's definitely, you have a lot of power. There's definitely a lot of power here. I think I said that in the beginning, didn't I? But it definitely feels that way. And then we have the Hierophant. Hierophant. Let's go back from the deck. Oh, well, the High Priestess. Oh, isn't that interesting? So, you know, with the Hierophant and the High Priestess, that definitely can like symbolize a spiritual connection here. Is this, you know, does this have to do with your spiritual journey? And, you know, you've been tied down, yeah, like maybe you've been tied down by sort of religious rules or things that have made you feel inauthentic within your spiritual journey. And now you're cutting through that to the truth, to what the real truth is, beyond all the rules and regulations, beyond all the traditions that for you they hold no meaning. And you're moving toward what you love. Put simply, you're moving toward what you love. And I think with the High Priestess, it's like you're trusting your intuition, you're following your inner guidance on what that is and on how to sort of separate you know, truth from lies, you know, because sometimes we can be taught a certain way, or, you know, it's just kind of tradition in, you know, I don't know, whatever in your family or whatever. And when you actually sit down and look at it clearly, right, because you're the Queen of Swords, so you're looking at things clearly, you find, okay, yeah, this is holding me back from being authentic, and I don't even see how this has any benefit for anyone, right? So you're cutting through that, and you're following your heart and your intuition on where to go next and on what to believe. You know, and this is creating a huge shift into freedom. Yeah, groundedness. You're stabilizing yourself into, you know, a stronger, clearer version of who you are. Learning about what it feels to be free, to be, you know, lighthearted and carefree without all those restrictions of rules and, you know, traditions that you have to follow and that you have to enforce that don't even hold any meaning for you. This is really interesting. Wow. And, you know, when you're in a community that follows like certain certain rules or whatever, that can be really hard to break out of. I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen the Eight of Swords. And maybe we haven't seen the Eight of Swords because of the power within you. Like we see this energy card, you know, like you've how do you say that? Accelerated the energy within you to where you're coming out of that bondage and that restriction so much that we don't need to see the Eight of Swords, because you're basically out of there. And that's what's manifesting in, is like this complete freedom, because you've been so clear on cutting through the mire of confusion that you're already at a place where those bonds that have held you down from being your authentic self no longer had power. And you're stepping into celebration and just a huge sense of relief and, you know, being carefree, being a free spirit. Oh, wow, that is so cool. Who are you, pile 2? Such power here to, and courage too, to be able to choose this, you know, and I don't know your situation. I mean, you know, obviously it's going to differ between you all, but, you know, regardless of what your outer world is, it still takes a lot of courage to break free of any kind of chains that bind us, no matter what they are, whether they're, you know, spiritual, emotional, mental, or even physical. That takes a lot of courage. And to be this clear and direct, and, you know, there is such a sense of power, you know, with the King of Pentacles, power and groundedness and stability that just says, you know, this is what's going to happen. And I don't care what you say, you know, this is what I've decided. Yeah, that's amazing. Is there anything else we can get for pile 2s? I just saw 11:11 on the timer. Wow, that is so cool. You're really, you're like changing your life, man. Dramatically and powerfully. Having this kind of energy to just, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to cut through this bull and just like follow my heart, and I don't care what anybody says, especially in the realm of freedom, because we all struggle with being free. You know, there's always something that holds us down. Is so powerful, so clear, so powerful. It's incredible. So, Spirit, is there anything else that we could find out about pile 2's situation and what they're manifesting? Should I take these? Maybe. Let's see. Oh, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, and the 5 of Swords. I just got an intuitive, like, could these be parents? That there's like been a lot of turmoil and difficulty with. But look at this. Let me see. Yeah, like, because, you know, Five of Swords, like, winning and losing. She's definitely the winner, and it almost looks like in this, they're not contending against her. They're in agreement. So I almost have this feeling that what you're doing, trying to break free, you're also doing it for those that you love, not just for yourself. And even if, you know, there could be difficulty for them in being able to let go of these rules and restrictions, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're against you trying. It almost seems like they want to support you and see you win. And that's what this reading is saying, is that you are going to win. You are going, see, she's the Queen of Swords. Look at, see? That's you. It's the same person. Wow, that's so cool. And she's winning. She's succeeding. So whether this has been, you know, an extreme challenge or not, because, you know, it doesn't seem, the tarot isn't really telling us whether it's been really hard on you or not. Although here underneath the deck, there's the Two of Wands, and then under that is the Ten of Swords. So yeah, it does look like it's been hard. But I think that the reason why, you know, it hasn't really come out is because you're already over all of that. You've already gotten through all of that. And now you're ready to receive the abundance, the King of Pentacles, abundance of what you've worked so hard to manifest. Like what you're trying to manifest, this freedom that you're trying to achieve is coming in. It is here. She is lifting up her sword and achieving that victory. And everyone is with her. Because we all deserve freedom. And you know that clearly. You know that probably more than most people. And you're achieving it. And you achieving it in your life for, those that you love does absolutely benefit the whole world. It will ripple through the whole world, and through those karmic lines and cycles to lift us all up higher and higher. So thank you so much for working so hard to establish freedom. Because light workers like you are how our world can become brighter and brighter and free. So thank you for leading us to freedom. And for your own life, you are going to see that freedom very soon. So thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you all the best, and I will see you next time. Hey, pile number 3. Thank you so much for joining me. So I pre-shuffled some oracle cards, and I haven't seen them yet. So let's check them out together, shall we? Let's see. So you got 2 of these. And so we have the Holy Mountain, Soul Calling, Sacred Journey, and Pilgrimage. And then the records, Remember Why You Came. Whoa. Be Bold, Legacy. Whoa, those are interesting. Wow. Remember Why You Came. Okay, so then, oh, you got 2 of these as well. Faith. Oh, wow. Wow, this is an interesting message. And patience. Whoa, are you kidding? That's crazy. Oh, hold on. Okay. Power. And then it says, give to the mind, and it gives back. Inspiration, mood, and cycle. You can see that. Okay, this is really interesting. So, what are you manifesting into your life? Well, you're manifesting power. Yeah, and it kind of looks like power to go on a sacred journey. And this could certainly be a spiritual journey. But it could be anything. You know, have you wanted to start something? But maybe you doubted yourself. Maybe you gave up too quickly. Maybe you just gave excuses like, oh, well, it's not the right time, or I don't have the right resources, or, you know, I don't even have what it takes. You know, there's be bold and there's legacy here. And, you know, we do have this card about inspiration as well. And so it's like you've been wanting to go on this journey, start this thing, but you've never felt confident enough in one way or another. And so what's coming in for you, what you're kind of manifesting, because it's clear that this is something that you really not only want to do, but is kind of like your purpose, why you're here. And so what's manifesting in for you are sort of the conditions and the energy, you know, to start to walk down this road. And, you know, walk down it with patience, walk down it with faith, walk down it with courage and power. So let's get some more information on this thing that you're manifesting. Okay. I split the deck and oh, you can't tell, but it's the full card. So that's, yeah, that's very interesting. You were going on a journey, pile 3. Whether you like it or not. And obviously, like, you like it, but, you know, I mean, when we doubt ourselves, or when we just don't feel, you know, things are like it's the right timing or whatever, like, you know, it is uncomfortable. I get that. Oh, don't break the card. What the happened here? Okay, sorry. All right. So, what is pile 3 manifesting? What's happening for pile 3? Okay, that's interesting. The Devil card, and it came deliberately in reverse. Oh. Okay. So did the 5 of Wands. What? Oh my god. This is like crazy. What are you going through, dude? Yeah, what is pile 3 manifesting next? Let me get some information for pile 3. Oh. Need more information for pile number 3. Okay. Very interesting. Aw. Well, that's so sweet. 10 of Cups on the back of the deck. And then you have 10 of Pentacles here. The 7 of Cups. Aw, come on. Spirit is so kind. There, look, there's the 10 of Cups. Alright. So look, yeah, it's like what I said. Like, obviously, you got some self-doubt. You know? But what you're manifesting is the release of this, the release of the chaos, which really I would say is within your mind, you know, because you're doubting yourself, you're so uncertain, you feel like you don't have the tools, you don't have the skills, and you're just making up excuses. And I don't think that it's because you necessarily want to. I think it's just because you don't trust yourself. You know, we see underneath the 10 of Cups is this 2 of Pentacles, and there was also the 9 of Swords. This is so cool. So we have 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and then we've got the Sun card. Okay, so what's happening is, you know, that and this 2 of Pentacles really displays that, indicates that with its imagery. You've got this precious thing that you really care about, but you feel blindfolded, and you feel that your environment isn't safe. Okay? And, you know, with the 9 of Swords, yeah. You're overthinking. You're overthinking because this isn't fire, you know? And it may feel like what you're going through is scary, like everything's on fire. But if you took off the blindfold, right? And actually in this card, ironically, she is taking off the blindfold. Hell yeah. And that's what's going on. That's what you're manifesting. You're manifesting getting that blindfold off so that you can see clearly that your environment isn't unsafe. It's not what you thought it was. And you do have the tools. You're not as bound up as you think, as it feels. And that's what's coming in for you, okay? Because, this is your destiny. This is what you're meant for. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, and these are related to this Seven of Cups, which, in my opinion, especially because of like how she looks, she's so excited. Oh my God. This has to do with your wildest dream. And your wildest dream is your destiny. It's what you came here to do. And so, you can't give that up, because it's like it's ingrained in you. It's not going to go away. And so even if you feel bound up over it, and even if you feel tortured and you can't sleep, and feel that everything is unsafe and absolutely terrifying, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. This is what you are made for. So what you're manifesting is the faith and the patience. And what was this other card? And the power, right? And the power. Okay, because you need to start to feel, right, that this is something that you can tackle. And when, you're Five of Wands and trapped up in the Devil card with, feelings of being, sort of imbalanced and overburdened and stressed, yeah, you're not going to feel like you can handle this. You're not going to feel strong at all. And so what's manifesting in for you is the help, the energetic help to start to shift what you're actually seeing, pulling off that blindfold so that you're able to see a bit clearer about what is actually going on around you, what your environment really looks like, and then also about you and what you actually are capable of. Ultimately, you're sort of holding back on walking down this path is due to your self-doubt. And if you could just see yourself clearly, you could recognize quite easily the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles and the Sun. And that, this wild dream that you crave is doable and achievable and something you can have. When you are challenged, when you have a dream like this, which is kind of what we're all meant for, is like a wild dream that we feel we can't achieve, it offers such a deep experience of self-empowerment. If you're able to push through, you can start to receive those energies and that feeling of power and authority that if you didn't have this difficulty, if you didn't have this sort of pushing against you, you would never be challenged enough to dig deep and find out what kind of power you actually have. And that's why this is your destiny. Spirit wants you to be empowered, and Spirit wants you to know yourself and how capable you really are, to what extent you can actually achieve. And that would, I would say, like the three most positive cards in tarot, Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, the Sun, I would say you can achieve incredible, wonderful, abundant things. Achieve with your hands, and with your sovereignty, manifest and attract them. And so what you're manifesting right now is the ability to see clearer and the ability to now start walking down this path with faith, with patience, with power that leads you to deep happiness and abundance. Your wildest dreams coming true. And so if you feel right now, maybe, like you're still in that devil energy and the Five of Wands, be encouraged through this reading that is ending. What you're manifesting is the freedom from that energy. And the ability to start to generate power and clear thinking. You know, we saw this card talking about the mind, you know, being able to see clearly and think clearly, being done with the tortured nights where your mind just goes crazy, overthinking everything. So that you can walk down this path with, you know, the faith and the patience that you need. It's going to take faith and patience for sure. Everything does. Nothing is instant. It has to go slow so that you can build a firm foundation. That's just how life is. And the more that you accept that, the more that you show yourself that you can trust yourself, that you can stand your ground no matter what seems to be going on around you. You know, it's really a process of self-development in self-trust. So have hope that, yeah, you are manifesting freedom from that energy. And it's coming in hot. We've got the sun here. It's hot. Plus, this always just looks like fire, you know? Don't you worry. Your environment is not on fire. And you're not on fire. And what you're trying to achieve is not on fire. It's very doable, no matter how impossible it seems. Okay? And the right energy is coming in to help you see how much more possible it is. And that, my friend, is what you are manifesting right now. And I wish you the best of luck with it. The more you can stand strong. And you know, having this shift of energy is huge help. We always need that kind of help. You don't have to do it all alone. But, you know, the more you stand strong, the more you're going to start to see that miracles are possible and are available for you whenever you need. So good luck, my friend. I'm excited for you to start to experience this joy and abundance that you definitely deserve. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.